Pooh Shiesty and Lil Durk on any project is definitely a hit. The dynamic duo has proven that they are a force to be reckoned with in the music industry. Their first collaboration together, Back in Blood, marks Pooh Shiesty's first song to enter the chart and its high-end charting song. It's also Lil Durk's second highest charting song. But aside from their commercial success, Lil Durk and Pooh Shiesty are also up to some mischief sometimes. In this video, we'll take a look at some dark truths about the relationship between Lil Durk and Pooh Shiesty. Lil Durk. Durk Derek Banks, known professionally as Lil Durk, brought a new fire to the Chicago rap scene. Without Lil Durk, the Chicago rap scene would almost certainly not be what it is now. His focus on melody and unorthodox flow contributed to the distinct sound of contemporary Chicago hip-hop. Lil Durk didn't invent drill music, but he brought a whole lot of legitimacy to the genre. His life experiences are as real as can be, and they speak from a genuine understanding of poverty, suffering, and violence. But in order to become the rapper and businessman he is today, he had to overcome a difficult family situation. Durk growing up. Durk spent much of his early years at home with a great deal of responsibility, as his father was incarcerated when he was 7 months old. He had to grow up quickly when his dad went to jail and continues to live out a life sentence for distributing crack cocaine. Durk still maintains a close connection with his father. The word on the street is his dad was incarcerated because he refused to snitch on gangster disciple leader Larry Hoover. Ironically, Lil Durk eventually joined the Black Disciples, former rivals to his father's gang. Durk dropped out of high school at the age of 17 when his girlfriend was expecting their first child. During this time, he'd also been more closely involved with the Black Disciples, frequently getting in and out of trouble with the law and entangled in the gang wars going on at the time. The come up. In 2011, Lil Durk faced some of his most serious charges when the police found him with a gun that had the serial number shaved off. This was around the same time he was beginning to consider the possibilities of taking his rap career seriously. Chief Keef, a friend from the neighborhood, was already a major player in the industry, and plans to sign Lil Durk to his label came together swiftly. Lil Durk's music was already generating buzz, mainly as a result of self-promotion. He was already posting videos and music on his YouTube and MySpace. It was an irregular move, but it paid off. Today, Lil Durk is doing what he always does, making music. His hustle is strong, and he finally seems to have found a label relationship that actually works for him after the complications he had with Def Jam. But his sensibilities seem to be changing as he grows older too. Durk is now working with established artists like Drake, and he has managed to keep his family close. Pooh Shiesty. This year, Pooh Shiesty is arguably one of the hottest rappers on the block. His name is everywhere, and it looks like his career is skyrocketing. The Memphis rapper known offstage as Lontrell Williams has made a significant impact on the music industry. He has gained considerable fame in a short period of time, despite his young age. After releasing a few singles of his own, Shiesty caught the attention of Gucci Mane, who had reached out to him just after his first listen of the track Main Slime. Main Slime was released just a month after his initial debut, Shiesty Summer. People may have had the assumption that he would have signed with other talents like Young Dolph and Yo Gotti, but he ended up making a deal with Gucci Mane at 1017 and Atlantic Records. In an interview, Shiesty told Charlemagne the God that he had no intention of signing with any labels, but when Gucci reached out to him, he knew he had to make the most of any opportunity that came along. This set the pace for his career and is what initiated the momentum he needed to release tracks that landed in features with top-rated artists like 21 Savage, Lil Durk, and Tay Keith. Shiesty's childhood. Before Pooh Shiesty became the hottest kid on the block, hip-hop called to him. His father was the founder of the Memphis-based Mob Ties Records and rapped under the name Mob Boss, introducing Pooh into the studio at a very young age. In high school, young Pooh started the Chopper Gang crew. He sharpened his wordplay by taking any opportunity to freestyle either in the lunchroom, on the block, or online. For 2 years, he left Memphis and resided in Pflugerville, Texas with his mother. When he returned to Memphis, he put his head down, attended summer school and online classes in order to graduate high school, and when he clocked 18, he decided to focus on building his rap career. At this point in his career, it's obvious to anyone who's a fan of rap and the industry that Shiesty is yet to show us the full limit to his potential, maybe because of all the legal and social media distractions. Pooh Shiesty and Lil Durk's affiliation. Lil Durk and Pooh Shiesty are both close friends of King Von. After Von died, there's been some tension within the industry. Although there's no actual proof, there have been speculations about an unmentioned beef between NBA Youngboy and Pooh Shiesty. The cause? Association. NBA Youngboy is good friends with Quando Rondo, while Pooh Shiesty is friends with Lil Durk. King Von and Lil Durk are really tight friends, and the shooter arrested for the murder of King Von, Timothy Leaks, is affiliated with Quando Rondo. Based on this, these rappers seem to have a subtle hatred for each other. Lil Durk made a song with Pooh Shiesty and Fredo Bang, which Youngboy was not so happy about. The rapper expressed his displeasure about it on IG Live, saying they had clicked up. Pooh Shiesty and Lil Durk seem to be so close that they kind of inherit each other's beef. Last year, Shiesty linked up with Lil Durk, who has been mourning the loss of his close affiliate, King Von. During that period, Durk pretty much went MIA. He was avoiding social media and keeping to himself for the most part. It was Pooh Shiesty and his mob friends that pulled Durk out of that rut. It was refreshing to see him focusing on new music and putting out dope stuff afterward. The two rappers decided to make a visual to accompany their November collaboration, Back in Blood. In the video of the track, the rapping duo can be seen partying with their crew, flaunting stacks of cash and iced out watches and chains, and also honoring King Von. For Shiesty to be able to reach out to Durk in those times, it's enough to show that these two rappers have a tight-knit friendship. Smirkchella. Despite their fame, both Pooh Shiesty and Lil Durk also dip their hands in a bit of trouble now and then. On one particular occasion, several thousand people gathered for a show by rapper Lil Durk outside a celebrity theater. The show ended in chaos after a sound similar to gunshots caused people to flee. Police responded to the scene, while people made a frantic mass exit from the celebrity theater's parking lot after the sound was heard. Some reports claim that a dropped microphone may have caused the gunfire sound, but based on their affiliation with the streets, it's not hard to consider that it was a gunshot. Lil Durk, for instance, is part of the set known as 300, which is actually the Black Disciple set located in the 300 section of the city, a large street gang in Chicago known to be very notorious. EBG E-Jizzle beef. The beef between EBG E-Jizzle and Pooh Shiesty has been on for a while, and they have been at each other's throats. Both rappers have been going back and forth with diss tracks. Back in Blood, one of Shiesty's biggest hits, is quite self-explanatory to anyone who doesn't understand the drill scene. It sounds like Pooh Shiesty warns his ops that if he takes something of theirs, they can have it back, not without a fight of course. While many think this is a general warning, it's actually addressed to EBG E-Jizzle. Shiesty claims to have pulled up at EBG E-Jizzle's spot with no mask, and still stuff and skip. So when Shiesty said, all the wolfing on the net, you was a thug, I ain't got nowhere to go. I shot up everywhere they was. Yeah, you know who took from you, come get it back in blood. Come get it back in blood. We ain't mask up, no Dodger, know who it was. Extorting shit just like the 80s, want some back, get it in blood. Yeah, you know who took from you, come get it back in blood. He was taking shots at EBG, telling them he knows who took his stuff, but there isn't anything he can do. Shortly after Pooh and Lil Durk dropped the track, EBG jumped on the opportunity also to diss Pooh and get some stuff off his chest. In his response, EBG raps, it's time to let them know what's up. CO got dropped and Mitch got locked, so we couldn't get it back in blood. 800 shots inside this car, 200 more inside the club. Bezel gang been getting active. Rappers they put up. He explained that Shiesty caps in his lyrics, and the only reason he didn't get revenge is because one of Shiesty's crewmates is dead and the other is in prison. EBG also had a problem with Lil Durk jumping on a track with one of his ops on a track that disses him. For that, Lil Durk caught some stray shots on a diss track. Recently, EBG Jizzle was reported to have been paralyzed following a shooting, which Pooh Shiesty celebrated on social media. He posted, "Now we can't even walk." This followed by a post saying, "I don't even think bro talking. Where he disappeared to? You okay? Check in. Give me some. Y'all ain't gonna put that in the next song, is it?" Laughing emojis. Unfortunately for Pooh, and fortunately for EBG, the incident took place just weeks after he released a diss track, Back in Blood, and even though rumors began to spread that he was paralyzed, a video surfaced on IG showing EBG Jizzle moving his feet, a clear indication that he isn't paralyzed. That brings us to the end of today's video. If you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment below. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new content.